everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates, and I'm glad you're joining me today. If you can see, I got a little carried away. I started making envelopes, altered envelopes and clips for the New Year challenge that was started by Shaz at Crafted Seasons, and this month it's being hosted by Barrett, and Mary wanted us to do an altered envelope and an altered clip and then tuck something into the envelope. Well, needless to say, some of this crafting is still new to me, and I hadn't really tried altered envelopes or paper clips. And once I started it was just so much fun. I kept thinking of several different ways to create an envelope and then decorate the envelope. So if you have time and you want to stick around, I'll show you all the ones I made, starting with this one. And this one is on the vintage theme. I used a damask kind of napkin and decoupaged it onto some parchment paper. I was going for that crunchy sound, which I really like. And then this is the clip. I'll just pull that off for now. I have to say the paper clips were a little challenging for me. I kept watching Mary's video, and every time she'd flip the clip over, I would try to get a glance at, okay, how did she do that? I know there's videos out there, but I wanted to just keep finding my own way. So eventually I did. Anyway, this is the front, and I have those jars of petals where you can layer them and make your own flowers. So I layered some and made a centerpiece flower with a little piece of bling. And then this is a collage of just book paper, music note paper, some burlap, a sweet little image of angels, and another flower. And then I tore a piece of cotton fabric and made a little shabby bow. And then I just have a bulb pin here that says made with love, some eyelash trim. And then inside of this one is a journal. And I made this journal a while back. I actually made a couple like this, and I hadn't used them, so I thought this would be a nice thing to tuck inside. And then I just stitched in some sheets of tea-dyed paper and some grungy graph paper. Oh, that one wasn't a loose. And some note paper. So, yeah. And then this is a pocket here, so you can tuck some notes or things down in there. So this is my little vintage journal that slips down into the vintage envelope. And then I have a clip here, and this one is made with, all of them are, well, maybe not all of them. Let me see if I can find, I was going to show you the paper clips that I used, but I don't see them right now. Anyway, this one has more of the paper flowers and lots of collaging. I dangled a little heart charm there, and then some shabby little fibers are sticking up, some crocheted lace. It's just kind of loaded with the same type of decoration that's on the envelope. And that's the back. And I love to mix burlap with pretty laces because I like the contrast of the rugged with the really soft and pretty. And then, if I can get it to go on here, it clips back on here like this. So that's my first one. And I totally understand if this is long and drawn out and you don't want to stick around. This one, I really enjoyed creating these envelopes. I took some scrapbook paper that already had like some script and other kind of faux collaging, like it had postcards and things on it, and then I added to it, this pattern probably is familiar to you, this pretty rose print napkin, or it's tissue paper I think, so I had some scraps of that. This beautiful napkin that was gifted to me from Dawn Marie, thanks Dawn Marie, and it had this bird that I managed to get right there in the corner, and another napkin that had some tulips and butterflies. And then the script, or the music note napkin I love, was gifted from Shaz. Thanks, Shaz. and it really works well with decoupage. So this one has sort of a leathery feel. I love it, and because of that the flap wouldn't stay down, so I did decoupage it. I'm sorry, Velcro it shut. And then the inside I have what I call my Maury Girl jewelry, and about 2 years ago I stumbled upon this fashion called Maury Girl and Maury, and it is just loads of ruffle and lace, and if you see it, you can go on Pinterest and put in Maury Girl and you'll see ruffles and lace and bell sleeves and long smocky looking cotton clothing that would probably be considered a bit juvenile, but I just love it. And it doesn't work well on me, a lot of it, but I can sort of modify it, and I do a lot of the ruffles and sleeves. But anyway, all that to say, this is a necklace that I created with that on that theme. So this is a little clay domed piece on top of a filigree piece, and I just trimmed it with pearls. And you see a lot of pearl accents in the Maury style. And so that tucks down in there and then just shuts back like this. Now this clip got a little over the top. It's definitely on the shabby chic theme. And I have paper flowers where I accented it with some metallic white paint, and bows and satin ribbon roses and some rose parent ribbon. And on the back it's the same, lots of clustering of ribbon roses, little snippets of lace. So that's the clip that I made for this one, and it just slides on there like that. And then I have the next one, and the next one is on the theme that I love so much, fairies. And I used sort of a weathered fabric. It was from a cotton fat quarter, and it's got these pretty little violet daisies flowers on it. And this is the front, and I used lavenders and greens because I love that, and pink and green, two of my favorite combinations. So I had some of this like green daisy crochet lace trim, and the little word was on some ribbon, so I just cut the word enchanting out and put a little bling there. I ruched some cotton tattered fabric, and in hopes that all of this would kind of say fairy, had this beautiful fiber trim that was gifted to me from Pamela at oh goodness, I just said your channel and now it's leaving me. Anyway, hi Pamela, and it's got these pretty little leaves. And this is the clip, and it's got a little embellishment. I had two of these, and I'm using the last one on this one. I've got some lavender burlap here that I thought was really pretty, and I like to do the rugged kind of natural fibers with the really pretty laces. I like the combination of the two, and so there's a little embroidered leaf that I tucked under there, and some more of the little fibers, eyelash trim, and then the back has some vintage lace, satin ribbon, and a string of little pearls just to keep it girly and pretty. And I like these heavy-duty clips, if I haven't already said that. They work really well. And so this one, I sewed the fabric onto card, so the flap needed a little help staying down. But inside, I have this wonderful sachet that was gifted to me from Jacqueline Haley, Hand of the Queen. Hi, Jacqueline. And it smells wonderful, and she gave me so many fairy type embellishments and goodies that I thought this would be quite appropriate to stash on the inside. So that's what's gonna live in here. And then I made a clip with a smaller paper clip, and it got all stretched out and too loose for holding things down. So this was my first attempt. I actually like the second one much better. it sort of translates better. This one got a little bit too busy, and so I'm just gonna let this one live inside of here for now. Like I said, altering paper clips was really new for me. So those live in there. I also made a little note card that I put a little fabric on fairy on the top, and this would just be a cute little card to send a thank you or a little message. So, and she's a pretty little flower fairy, so that's gonna also live in there for now. And I like that it just closes so nicely. And oops, so we can get this back on here without a problem. There we go. So the clip just lives on there. That's my fairy envelope. And I have another one. Are you still hanging in there with me? This one, I really wanted that crunchy sound. I don't know what that is about. I know lots of us like that. But anyway, this is the clip. And I had this beautiful tissue paper. It's got the gold accents in it. And so I pulled out some of my embroidered little applique. This was really expensive fabric, and I bought just a small piece, and I've kind of been hoarding these little appliques and fussy cutting them out and using them just randomly, so I thought it worked really well with this tissue paper. And then I had some sari silk ribbon with some of the perfect coloring, the mauve and the pinks. So I used that as the tie, and then just trimmed it with a little bit of lace. And on the inside of this one lives a fairy flower that I created a long time ago when I was making a big batch of fairy flowers. So I fussy cut out some more of that embroidered applique and stuck that down, and then a piece of bling to go right in the center. So this is a lot of organza ribbon and variegated colored lace, and I used the singeing method where you singe the petals over a candle to come out with the flower. So my little fairy flower lives in here, and this is a brooch pen, so it can come off and on. And so for now that lives in there. And then the pen itself, let's see if I can tie this back up really quick. Just get it in a bow. So, and then this is the clip. It's mounted on burlap again with some vintage lace and some of the applique. You can see it. And this is a silk flower that I kind of altered and added a little bling in the middle, and then more of the silk ribbon. And that one just clips on there. So that's this one. And then I have this one this is the back. Again, another one where I had so much fun decoupaging on it. Some of that napkin that was gifted to me from Shaz, and some Tim Holtz decoupage tissue paper. And I just think this one's really girly and pretty. Lots of roses, and then there's a little ribbon bow. And what lives on the inside of this one is a couple tea bags. So I just wrote tea time on there and a little paper doily embellishment. Do you want to see my tea? I like orange spice, and I like Constant Comment tea. So these will live in here. You know, and I think this one is simple enough that if you really wanted to tuck this down in your purse, it would travel fine. And then for the clip, I kept it kind of simple compared to the other ones, and this one is made on a smaller paper clip with some tattered pieces of lace and a little cotton tattered bow. A little flat back flower in the middle. And there's the back. Just the same. And it clips right down on there to make this one. And believe it or not, I have just one more, and that is this one. And I know I kind of went over the top, but like I said, I just got carried away. They were so much fun to make, and now I've got things I can gift to people and throw in Happy Mail. So I'm really happy that I stuck with it and just kept creating. And again, I used the music note paper, the damask napkin, another smaller paper clip, a little collage here that's got a beautiful little paper flower that Shar Fisher gifted me in a bunch of embellishments that she sent. Thank you, Shar. I love those little flowers. And then a little image of a sweet angel face, and I made a rayon seam binding little rosebud, and there's fibers, tissue paper tucked in there just to get a little layering and collage effect. And then I ruffled some vintage lace for the flap. And what lives on the side of this one, and this piece of vellum was unnecessary, but I just like making things an experience, so I folded this framed little piece where every spring or whenever I'm out walking my dog and I see a patch of clover, I like to grab, try to hunt for 4-leaf clovers. And that particular day I found 3 of them, so I just laminated it in between 2 pieces of packing tape and slid it down into this framed piece. These are little Tim Holtz ephemera cards that I found, and so I just thought that would be a fun thing to tuck down in the envelope. At first I was overthinking it. I got all the envelopes done and I was like, I don't know what to put in them, but eventually little ideas started coming to me. So I did not make all of these in one day by any means. This is several days of work. Here, I'll show you the little paper clip. This fiber, it's like straw. It's really cool, and that was gifted to me from Sarah. Sarah's Shabby Chic Creations, I think, is your channel. Hi, Sarah. And there's a little bow, a gold bow to bring out the gold and the bling and the little silk flower. And that tucks down onto that. So that's my last one. And you're probably saying it's about time, but I did have a lot of fun. I hope you like them. Let me know what you think, or maybe what your favorite one is. I'm not sure what my favorite one is at this point. Fairy is always going to be the top of the list, but I do like the vintage one as well. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't started, if you didn't participate, it's not too late. It goes to the end of the month. You don't have to mail anything in. You just create and make a video, and if you go overboard and make 6 envelopes, I'll watch your video too. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you again soon. Bye.